Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is Thursday night, November the 9th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Thanks for waiting for me. I was hoping that I could stream tonight. I also knew that I'd be coming from a work event. And if those of you that saw either on my Twitter or my Instagram posted a picture, it was the Archbishop's dinner, annual fundraising dinner tonight. I had a small part in that. I ran a talk show for in the middle of the night, which was pretty cool. And I got to bring my lovely wife, Gail, to the dinner. And it was at the Hyatt downtown. And that's where Gail and I celebrated our wedding anniversary. No, not a wedding anniversary, our wedding reception 23 years ago in July of 2000. So it was nice to be in that ballroom. Always holds sentimental value for us and for me. And that means I only got to see the first period of the Canucks game. So I will recap what I saw, the 20 minutes that I did see. I'll recap what I've seen on highlights and what I've heard people talking about. And I know Parker did Game Over Ottawa with Mod, and then I know he had his own video as well that I talked about yesterday about how he's doing really good with his content. And then I was watching some highlights myself, listening and watching to Rick talk at JT Miller. So I think I have a good handle on tonight's game, at least good enough to fake it for this stream. Just kidding. I'm not faking it. I'm not faking it. I know what's going on, but I might need you guys to fill in some of the gaps. So thank you for being here. What I'll do is I'll talk about tonight's game. I will talk about the Pacific Division standings and another Pacific Division team that, as good as we are, they are really, really bad. I think you know who I'm talking about. And then I will turn it over to all of you. Fake it till you make it. Exactly, Viper. That is my... And Taylor, you are never, ever bothering me. You can message me anytime. I just might not respond right away, but don't think that you are ever bothering me. Okay, I just realized how messy this is, but that's okay. So the Canucks win 5-2. They are now 10-2-1, points in 9 straight games. And I'll say this before we get into the specifics of the game. Sometimes you're going to win games that you probably have no business winning, like tonight. Other times you're going to lose games that you probably have no business losing. And I would say there's only 3. The Canucks only lost 3 times tonight. I would say the Rangers game, that 4-3 overtime game at Rogers Arena on October the 28th, I would say that's the one that kind of fits that category because we got decimated in Philly. That's the one we lost 2-0. I think we were okay against Tampa when we lost to them. And then the Rangers was the only other one that we've lost, and that was extra time. So that's why, as my sign's falling down here. So I do think, like I said, sometimes you win games that you're not supposed to, and sometimes you lose games that you're not supposed to. Now, for the Canucks, the fact that they are so much better this year, and I'm going to talk about regression and PDO and all that kind of stuff. The fact that they are so much better right now, we are going to be talking more about games that they probably should have lost, but they won, than games that they probably should have won that they lost, because they are going to simply win more games than they're going to lose. And we've seen that. They've won 10 of their 13 games already. So I hope that makes sense. So let's talk about tonight's game. And yeah, Eric says weird game tonight. Shot total say blowout, scoring chance say otherwise. So yeah, I wouldn't say the shots say blowout, but the shots certainly tell a story of Ottawa. If we can argue about period by period or minute by minute or whatever, scoring chance by scoring chance. But I think if you look at the general whole, even a Canucks fan would say that Ottawa was probably the better team tonight in terms of at least shots. They outshot the Canucks basically 2-1, 30-16. And I'd say Ottawa controlled the middle part of the game, starting from the end of the first period when they scored their first goal they probably were the better team in the second period. And then until the Canucks scored their late goal. So it's kind of funny that Ottawa scored a late goal in the first, Canucks scored a late goal in the second, and then the Canucks put it away in the third period. So, or maybe you say it's basically like 35 to 25 minutes, Ottawa over Vancouver. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the 5-2 final. And darn it, I did not get my 4-2. I like it when the Canucks win 5-2, but I did not get my 4-2 prediction. I'm still haven't got it yet. I think the Canucks have won 5-2 a couple times this season, but yeah, it was a 5-2 victory, and I'll certainly take it. So let's talk about the goals, the game real quick. Then I want to talk about this whole regression / PDO thing, and then I will turn it over to all of you. So coming in this game, you didn't know what to expect because Ottawa came off a big victory over Toronto tomorrow. You can't go in the future. Ottawa beat Toronto last night, and Vancouver was technically the rested team, last having played on Monday night, beating Edmonton. Yes, they had to fly across the country. I get that, but that's why you have a couple games in between. So you would think that Vancouver would have the fresher legs, and JT Miller admitted it. Rick Tocchet admitted it. By the way, do you guys put a yes in the chat? Oh, by the way, I didn't even do my full intro because I got so excited to talk to you. Before we get going, I want to welcome all of you, even though we are 7 minutes in the stream. Moderators, do what you need to do. Members, that's Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks for your support. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Richmond and Steveston, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be watching anyone else, doing anything else, getting ready for work, school, or better, all three. But the fact that you are here, I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. Maybe that's why we don't have a donation or a membership gift yet, because I never asked for them, or maybe it's just simply one of those nights. So you are welcome. I invite you to donate if you want to donate. I invite you to gift memberships if you want to gift a membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can buy your own membership. You can also subscribe. You can like the video. We have 87 of you in here, which is awesome. We only have 20 likes. So maybe because I didn't call out for likes, we got to get some more likes up. Let's do that. And then if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Not sure how I forgot that. That's usually what I do right at the very start. But so welcome to everyone who's just coming in. Kenny, I won't. Good night, Eric. Are you saying it was a good night and you just got here? Or are you saying it's good, like good night, I'm out of here? Eric, thanks for being here regardless. Kenny, I'm not going to go through all the memberships in this, but if you click on the join button underneath my video, you can see all of the membership perks there. There are 3 membership levels: Hall of Fame for $5 a month. Sorry, franchise for $5 a month, Hall of Fame for $25 a month, and Legend for $80 a month. Speaking of Legend, we have our first donation, and it comes from the legendary Carol Bovenlander. So speaking of legends, I got to get to another one. So Carol, thank you. Gifts a donation, a $5 donation goes to Kempner Canucks, who's also killing it on his channel. Make sure you follow Rev Trev, Kempner Canucks, doing live streams and everything. So Kempner Canucks is now a member of this channel for at least the next month. Thank you, Carol, for that donation. And welcome to membership, Rev Trev. And speaking of legends, here he is, the legend himself, Hot Take Hockey, all the way from Ontario, 2:30 in the morning, says, I'm here for Clay's Oilers song. Yeah, it could be like na 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 na. It could be na 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 na. It could be it's so hard to say goodbye. End of the Road by Boyz II Men. It could be so many things. But give me a few days for sure, and I'll get back to you. Happy to see you here. Happy to see all the content creators, and even if you're not. Oh, Eric says, sorry, good night for the Canucks. Yeah, Eric, I thought I offended you already, and you were leaving 8 minutes into the stream. And Hot Take says, actually, he could even distinguish, despite my awful singing, he was the one who's saying, na, 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 hey, goodbye. Okay, let's go. And Shane, welcome. Yes, I have no control over who the memberships go to. It's a YouTube algorithm thing. So you're going to have to talk to the YouTube algorithm. And it's based on who's in here, how much you chat, who doesn't have a membership, whatever it may be. But yes, Shane, I've seen you around. I've definitely seen you on Kempner's streams as well. And now Hot Take is saying bye. Who else is going? Okay. So you spent Ottawa you expect Vancouver to be the fresher team, but even JT Miller and Rick Tocchet used terms like messy. But what Rick Tocchet said is, even though the game was getting messy and getting away from the Canucks a little bit in the middle of the game, that they still played with structure. You know, that's Rick Tocchet's favorite word. They played with a lot of structure, and that's how they regained control of the game heading into the third period. And I'm going to talk about the goals real quick. I'm going to talk about regression, PDO. I'm in a good mood. I'm walking now without crutches. I know I'm supposed to do one more day with one crutch, but I was able to walk around without crutches today. So I'm a few days away from taking off the boot, getting rid of the crutches, and going from there. But before we do that, I'd like to acknowledge a couple things. First, donation from legendary Lucas Gates. High five, Clay. Pow. We're 5 straight wins in a row. Pow, 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 pow. Good times are here again, that's for sure. Awesome. Thank you, Lucas, for your support and for your donation tonight. And we also have another membership gift from Carol. And this one does not go to Shane, but it does go to Alex Fierro. So welcome to membership, Alex. And thank you, Carol, for always taking care of me and this. Oh, yeah, Shane, you are a member. It does. Thank you. Welcome to membership, Alex. And thank you, Carol, for taking care of us. And Shane, yes, it says CCC beside you. Does that mean you're a member? That does mean you are a member. And it means you've been a member for less than, I don't know what less than a month, I believe. So Shane, I think you're gifted a membership in a stream earlier this month, I believe. Okay. I get distracted a lot because I'm in a good mood. The Canucks are winning and we're awesome. Brock Boeser scores 15 seconds in the game. 15 seconds. A nice play from Hronik to DiGiuseppe. Great pass. Boeser with his quick shot gets it past Forsberg. That's the goalie's name, right? Forsberg. It looked like Forsberg made the save because he kind of whipped the glove out from behind the goal line, but they went to review and the Canucks were up 15 seconds into the game. Brock Boeser with his 11th tally of the season. 11th tally of the season. Wow. All 3 legends have gotten into the mood tonight. So legendary Lucas Gates gives a donation. Legendary Carol Bovenlander gives 2 memberships. And not to be outdone, legendary Andrew Chang also in the house. Isn't that funny? Kenny C 5 minutes ago asks, what does membership entail? And then 5 minutes later, he is gifted membership. Well, Kenny, you're going to see what membership entails. Basically, as a franchise member, you get your a typed recognition in every single one of my video descriptions. You get emojis and GIFs in the chats here. You get priority comments, priority replies to comments. I got to start doing that. And then you get 2 members live streams a month. All that for $5 and a chance for you to say that you're supporting me. So technically, Andrew is supporting me with the donation. So thank you, Andrew. And Kenny, welcome to CCC membership. I'm not sure what the heck you just typed in there. I didn't know I made that one available, but whatever that is, thank you. So Canucks are up 1-0. Life is good. And then the Canucks score again, just 2.5 minutes later, basically exactly 3-minute mark. It's a nice 3-way passing play. Kuzmenko to Petr. Actually, it wasn't so much a 3-way passing play. This one was the great forecheck. The 3-way passing play was later. Great forecheck. Mikheyev behind the net, not taking a penalty. Then Kuzmenko intercepting a Stützle clearing attempt. Pettersson over to Mikheyev. And now it is a wrist shot. Now it's 2-0, 3 minutes in. And I actually thought this was going to be a blowout. I really did. Because we scored 15 seconds in, then 3 minutes in. I didn't think we were going to win 60-0, but we had a really, really good start. And then it just kind of got a little bit sloppy, got a little bit messy. And then the Canucks goal, their shot clock didn't seem to be working because it was going up so slowly. And then right at the end of the period with 1:45 left, Batherson scores unassisted. Friedman pinched, took out one guy, puck goes up. Ian Cole tries to play it to his feet, but he messes up and he gives it to Batherson. Batherson walks around and puts it up high over to Smith. And it's 2-1. The Canucks seem to be in control of this game, but Ottawa seems to be coming on. In the second period, we get halfway through the period until Zub takes a shot from the point. slap shot and actually goes off Petey, pass to Smith. Petey's like looking at a stick saying, Stick, why did you make me do that? And now it's 2-2, and Ottawa still seemed to have a lot of control. There was that power play that the Canucks had where actually Ottawa had the two better chances. One with Smith went crazy. The other one when Pettersson gave it away. But thankfully the Canucks escaped unscathed. And then it was JT Miller. This was a really nice play by Di Giuseppe. He intercepts it at the Ottawa line, brings it over the line, pass to Miller, and then so subtly lifts the defenseman stick up with his own stick. And Miller puts a wicked snapshot bar down. And now the Canucks are going into the intermission up 3-2. They started the period up 2-1. They retained their 1-goal lead, 3-2. Then in the third period, Ottawa still played fine. It's not like they outshot the Canucks 12-6 in the third period, but it's the Canucks that get the two goals. The first one is a beautiful three-way passing play. Hsmfangirl, Pettersson. Actually, why do I keep saying three-way passing play? When Pettersson took a shot and Mikheyev kind of stuck his foot out without a kicking motion, but a really good play. He knew what he was trying to do, and that puck gets by Forsberg, and then Petey scores on a power play goal. I've never seen a power play goal scored 2 seconds in a power play. And when you saw 2 seconds, and then when I watched the replay, I expected JT Miller to win the draw back to Petey and him one time it, but no, somehow it still went from Miller to Hughes, across to Petey, and a 91-mile-an-hour slapper, and then it's past the goalie, and the final score is 5-2. I mentioned that the Canucks were outshot 30-16. They're out face off 58-42. Good special teams. They went 1 for 3 on the power play, 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Ottawa blocked a lot more shots, had more hits. So Ottawa seemed to have control of some of the run of the play. But look at all the players that have multi-point efforts. JT Miller had 2 points. Di Giuseppe had 2 points. Petey had 3. Too bad I sat him in my fantasy league by accident. Mikheyev had 2. Kuzmenko had 2. And then Besser had his goal. And then Hughes and Hronik, as expected, get an assist. And so does Ian Cole. You look at the time on ice. No forward had more than 18:30. High man was Petey. But no forward had less than 12:30, which was Bovenlander. So all Canucks forwards were between 12:30 and 18:30. I really like that because they are playing 3 games in 4 nights in Eastern Canada. Then, a bit more spread out on the D. You have the 3 big ones, Hronik with 23, Hughes with 22, and Susie with 20. Actually, and then Myers and Cole were right behind in 19. So really the only outlier was Friedman, who only had 12 minutes, but still a +1 and 3 hits in those 12 minutes. So, like I said, I think the biggest thing for me for this game is that, yes, the Canucks are going to win some games that they should lose, and the Canucks are going to lose some games that they win. Now, let me talk about really quickly the what else happened in the league, and we especially want to pay attention to the Pacific Division and any other things that I want to bring up. Boston still continuing their hot play, 5-2, and then looking for Pacific. We win 5-2, looking for Pacific. Coyotes lose 2-1, so they're battling with the Blues for the wild card spot right now, looking for the Pacific. The Kraken win against the Avalanche. It's a little bit surprising there. The Kings lost, although they got a point in overtime, so that's nice. I'll show what that means at the standings in a second. And this one's funny. Ha, 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 ha. The Oilers get 41 shots on net, but they still lose 3-2. That means the Sharks scored on 1 out of every 6 shots, getting 3 goals and 18 shots. The Sharks beat the Oilers. The Sharks get their second win of the season. Guess what? They tied the Oilers who have 2 wins on the season. I think it was Ricky who earlier said he watched this game. So what does it mean for the standings? Well, in our division, it means Vegas is in first by points. But if we win our next game, although I'm sure Vegas will play too, but we basically have 1 game in hand. So we could actually be tied for Vegas for first place in the division. Now there's a tiny bit of separation between us and LA because they only got the 1 point. So they are 2 points behind us, as you can see. Anaheim is 14-12. So that's over 500. And then we have 4 teams under 500. Although, Seattle's been a bit better. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10. So they have 13-14. They're basically on the precipice of 500. You have Calgary, who suck, and you have Edmonton and San Jose, who really suck. Now, Edmonton's in 7th because they played 1 fewer game than San Jose. But yes, look, they both have 2 wins in 12 and 13 games, respectively. Pretty pathetic stuff. And then you look at the entire league. The Canucks are still in 3rd, tied with the Rangers. Rangers and the Canucks fit to be tied. It's no surprise they went to overtime when they played each other. So Boston has 23-13. We have 21-13. So we're only one game behind Boston. Boston's playing very well. So surprised. And there's Vegas, as I talked about. And you look at the top 10, I would say Vancouver and Detroit are the two teams that you'd be surprised at in the top 10, although Tampa's tied with Detroit. But Boston, Vegas, Rangers, Kings, Dallas, Colorado, Winnipeg, Carolina, all very strong teams. So I'm going to say one more thing about regression and one more thing about PDO. PDO, we don't know what it stands for, but it's basically you add your shooting percentage and your save percentage, and then you come up with a number that's PDO. So if just the law of averages would suggest that a PDO, an average PDO in the NHL is 100%. And for instance, you could say if you save 91% of your shots, right, a 9-10 save percentage, and you score on 9% of your shots, so 91 plus 9 is 100, and that's why it's the average. The Canucks have a PDO right now of 109. I think their shooting percentage is 14%, and their save percentage is 95% or something like that. So 95 plus 14 is 109. The next best team is Vegas, 104, who are second overall, and Boston, 104, who are first overall. So the top three teams in the league have the top three PDOs, which would make sense. No one has had 109 PDO in the history of the league. I think the highest ever was 104 or 105. And I get it. It's only 13 games in, and it's a relatively small sample size, but it's not like it's only 1 or 2 games. Is the Canucks continue? Look, tonight they scored 5 goals on 16 shots. 5 goals on 16 shots. So they basically scored on whatever that is, 30% of their shots today, and they saved 28 of 30 or whatever. So another 900 save percentage. So some would say it's luck. Some don't put a lot of stock into this. But I'll tell you what, I'd rather be the Canucks at first overall at 109 PDO than the San Jose Sharks, surprise, surprise, who have 92 PDO, Calgary 94, and Edmonton 95. And those are the 3 worst teams in the entire league. So if we're talking about, Brighter says, why is it so important all of a sudden when I only heard of it? No, it's always been around. It's always been around. It's one of those advanced stats that came into light last decade or so with Corsi and Fenwick and expected goals and all that. But this one, PDO is the name of the person who created. That's a weird name. I guess emo is a weird name too. They should name a stat after me, the emo. But it sounds like it's just someone who mopes around and it's all emotional all the time. But yes, it's been around for a while, but we only hear about it a lot right now because the Canucks are leading the league in it. Then finally, you have people, the Canucks are going to regress. The Canucks are going to regress. Well, no kidding. They're not going to go at an 800-point pace for the entire season. No one does that. They're not going to get 130 points. No team rarely does that. So yes, by nature of the word, by definition, the Canucks are going to regress. Guess what? So is Boston. So are the Vegas Golden Knights. So are the Rangers. Those 4 teams, they are going to regress because there's no way they're going to wind up the year 65, 10, and 6 or whatever. There's no way. So every top team by definition is going to regress. I think we can agree on that. But it's a matter of how much you regress. That's the thing. If you regress completely to what does that mean? Are you saying they regress to an average team? Well, I'll take average from here to the end of the year because we're still going to make the playoffs because we are already 10 games over 500. Remember, you only have to be 13 games over 500 to make the playoffs. We are already 10 games. No, sorry, we're 8 games over 500, 10, 2, and 1. So I'll take 500 hockey for the rest of the season because it means we're making the playoffs. No, it doesn't. We still have to get to 2 more. But I think you know my point. I'll take almost just over 500 hockey. So when we talk about regression, I think it's important that we don't get offended. We don't say, "Oh, you guys are just making fun of us. Oh, we can't have good things." No, every good team by definition is going to regress by the nature of the word. But the question is, how much are they going to regress? And if you regress less than average or less than than other teams, then that is how you are going to stay ahead of the playoff bubble. Make sense? Makes sense. Okay, friends, I'm going to turn it over to you in a couple of minutes. But let me do my mid-show sponsor read first. Shout out to my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. I see that Jason is in the chat saying that we should win the President's Trophy. Hello, Jason. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform, personal training, weight loss. Check them out at ptform.com. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of that fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey Nine Brewing, my eternal sponsor. Thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive your free pair of socks off your next Vessi purchase. By the way, I saw someone did purchase a pair of Vessis as recently as last week. So that using the code, that is awesome. So thank you to Vessi. As well, don't forget that we are going to Seattle. I know there's someone in this chat that actually reached out to me today and was wondering if there's still spots. Yes, there's still spots, but we're going to wrap it up pretty quick. So if you want to go see Vancouver and the Kraken on Friday, November 24th for $649, $649 the lotto line, you get return transportation, bus travel to and from Seattle. You get one night stay downtown Seattle at the Westin, and you get a really nice ticket to the game. Probably $700 to $750 value, especially now that the exchange rate is so bad. But you can have this for $649 Canadian. So if you're interested, contact Neil Chark, Neil C at uniglobecarefree.ca. Again, that's Neil C at uniglobecarefree.ca. And if you're looking to buy hockey tickets, like I think Taylor is, she's going to email me tomorrow. Make sure you message me. Send me an email at canuckclay@gmail.com. and I will send you my ticket list. Mid-show reminder to all of you to subscribe if you haven't already, to like the video. We're up to 48 likes, which is a lot more like it. Thank you. You can leave a donation like Lucas has done. You can gift memberships like Shannon and Andrew have done. You can get your own membership, upgrade your own membership, and you can, if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Now, I'm going to go for about 15 more minutes because I know I started 15 minutes late, but I do want to wrap up by midnight. So I'm just going to turn it over to you. Just how you feeling right now? And maybe tell me how you think the Canucks they're going to have to play a lot better against Toronto on Saturday for sure. But whatever you want to say, if it gets too crazy, I'll do questions only, but I'll try and address a lot of your comments, but better chance of me reading it if you frame it in a question. What do you think of Lyndon and Benning's exchange about the 2017 draft? I have not heard Benning's side, aside from the fact that he denies that he denies the report that he did not want to take Pettersson. Lyndon has backed it off a little bit when he's with Donning Dolly, saying he wasn't a fan of the process, and you could kind of tell that him and Benning didn't get along just from the way that Lyndon chose not to say much about his relationship with Benning. But this is not news. Everyone that's followed the team since then knew that there's a thought that the Jim Benning was high on Cody Glass, whereas the rest of the scouting team wanted to choose Petey. Hey, Fangirl, great question. I thought Ray Farrell was great. I've always liked his work with TSN, ESPN. I think he's great. I think I like him on the radio. He's so knowledgeable. He's such a good player. And I like Dave Tomlinson too, but there's something about Ferraro's insight that I really, really like. I thought he was great. Oh, did I say Shannon? No problem. No problem. And I wasn't trying to manifest a donation. Did I mention your name, Shannon? Well, that's how much I like you, Shannon. I wonder if Vegas is getting antsy with the Canucks coming out of nowhere. Great question, Lucas. Maybe, but I also think Vegas, especially as Cup champs, have been there, done that. Like if I was Vegas, I would notice that Vancouver is doing a lot better, but I don't know if I was Vegas, I get antsy because if you're Vegas, and I'm not saying you have to be cocky to say this, you might just naturally say, well, what has Vancouver done so far, like in the playoffs? So great question though. I'd be interested to know that too. We're not going to get John Garrett on a regional broadcast. We'd only get him on a national one, but Ray was really good. I know it's a long shot, but I think it's pretty exciting that Canucks will officially be first in the NHL provided they win their weekend back-to-back. Yeah, but then that means Boston and Vegas can't win prior to that, right? But I hear what you're saying. Jason says, hit the like button because Jay Woodcroft is getting fired. You don't want to wish ill will on anyone, do you? What do you think Pettersson thought of this with Lyndon Benning? Pretty sure it wasn't a surprise to him. I don't think it's a surprise to him. We got another donation to recognize. Hall of Fame member Just Incredible, somewhere in the world, Celebrini and Elserman. Is that the second guy? Panicking at the thought of being an Edmonton Oiler. Yeah, I didn't. Well, Connor McDavid's good, but it hasn't. First overall picks haven't worked out great for Edmonton, have they? Thank you, Justin, for the donation. Let's give Justin some love in the chat for sure. Thanks again. Let's get back to your comments. So what do I think about Pedersen? I don't know if he thought anything. He's probably just more amused. I love this. You know, Zal, I'm going to end off with this tonight because sometimes, depending on what kind of mood I'm in, I really like the chance for you guys to get creative and for me to highlight your creativity. So at the end of the stream, someone remind me that whether it's Pepsi's per 60 or somersaults through a window per 60, I'm going to ask you to come up with some emo stats. You know, I have the Clay special team, power play plus penalty kill, kind of like PDO, whatever. But yes, at the end of the stream, I'm going to ask you to come up with some specific stats specific to me. And I like this one. Somersaults through window per 60. Who would be the best coach for Edmonton? Good question. I don't even know who's still out there right now. That's good. I don't even know. Habs more of a concern than the Leafs. Caulfield is going to be ready. Yeah, I don't know, Gerald. But yeah, and actually they're right next to each other in the standings. We'll see. Saw you at the Edmonton game as you left out the door beside the wooden orca. Said hi, but was too shy to ask for a photo. Just as handsome in person. Well, BC Beasley, you must have really good eyesight for sure. So you said hi, but was too shy to ask for a photo. Did I say hi back, BC Beasley? The way you typed it, did I just walk by you? Oh wait, were you the guys? Were you the guys taking a group picture by the photo, by the wooden orca? BC, let me know if that was you, because I do remember seeing a group that was taking a group picture by the wooden orca, and then I walked by with my friend. I guess I scootered by, and I remember the ushers telling everyone to leave as well, because that was about 15-20 minutes after the game. So let me know if you were the group who were taking the pictures in front of the orca, because then I do remember seeing you. And then if you were that group, let me know if you were the one holding the camera, taking pictures of your friends, or if you were the one in the picture with your friends. And if you weren't that group, then I'm basically an idiot. Then I'm talking about the wrong people. Betting's job is to be open to all options. Can't hit on him if he's thinking Velarde or Glass at the draft. Great point. That's his job. Hey, James, which Canucks will be in the All-Star game? When does voting begin? Well, if they're going with the same, it's always 9 skaters and 2 goalies, right? And Vegas is up there too. But how can you not put, it's really weird to have 3 or 4 players in unless you're the host team. But how can you not have Hughes, Petey, and Demko in there right now? And then maybe Miller is a notch below. But yeah, I think you could look at Hughes, Petey, and Demko as being in the All-Star game. I'm not sure when voting begins. Probably pretty soon. Yes, I was wrong. A couple of you suggested that it was going to be DeSmith getting 2 points and 2 starts and only Demko getting 1. And I kind of thought that would be not correct. But I think you guys are correct. I think it's going to be Demko on Saturday and then DeSmith on Sunday. If Vancouver somehow wins the Stanley Cup this season, could that mean there's less pressure to re-sign EP40? That is a really, really good point. Because he's going to want a lot of money. Yeah, that's a fascinating question, Coach Rob. Did you come? Is that your own thought, or have other people been talking about that? Because that's fascinating. I think that's a really good video topic. But I don't want to get too, because then people will flame me for talking about the Canucks winning the cup. So let's revisit this. I could see the Canucks letting him walk. It sounds so silly. Not letting him walk. He's an RFA. But I could see them playing a bit more hardball if they have a cup in their back pocket for sure. Great point. It will be a great game on the 30th for sure. Hello, Chris. How do you feel about our ops being in the basement? I love it. I don't even say the word ops. I'm not cool enough, but I love it. I love us looking down on the ops. As Coy Leray said in her song, players looking down on the ops. What's it like being on top, looking down at the ops? Thank you. Thank you very much. Wait, so which type of games would be national? Wednesday or Saturday are national games, usually. Clay, what do you think about Vancouver having a great record and we're playoff favorites? I love it. And I don't think it's a mirage. I don't think it's a facade. I think it's the real deal. I really do. I love it. Do you think what Lyndon said will make fans hate him or Benning? No, neither. Vegas days of running the division may be over. I keep an eye on the Canucks. Yeah, they should, but I actually think they don't care. I really, I don't mean that, Justin, Lucas, to disrespect you. No, not at all. I think it's a great question. I just don't know if Vegas cares, quite frankly. Shannon says, I like you a lot also. Well, thank you. And I think that you and Andrew need to come to Victoria to see the Victoria Royals game with Coach Rob and I as the Royals are playing. Okay, we can talk about that for sure. How many points will PD end the season with? I predicted 95 to 100. Maybe he's going to be 110 or 115, which would be absolutely crazy. What does he have right now? 23, right? 23. He has 23 and 13. 23 divided by 13 times 82. I don't think he's getting 145 points. Maybe he gets 115. Wow. A couple of you guys saying Gerard Gallant. Jim Benning needs a job, says Jason. That's funny. Coach Rob, you can coach. Clay, I love your thoughts on a few specific players. P.S. Shooter, and Niels Hoglander. I think they've both been pretty good. It's Suter, nice that he's scored. He had a streak broken tonight, but he scored in 3 straight games prior to tonight. I think he's solidifying that third line, even though sometimes they don't appear on the score sheet. But I think he's been fine. He's been responsible, and he's got a wicked release. Like all 3 of his goals have been from the slot area. Hoglander's been great. Doesn't complain. He's a low man on minutes a lot, but he's I think he's cut down on his errors, cut down on his inconsistency, and I think he's been great. And we're going to need guys like that Teddy Bluger coming back probably on Saturday. We need our bottom 6 to not get scored on and to chip in offense once in a while. And I think both of them have been great. I think Joshua hasn't been that great. If Van had the start that the Oilers had this year, would you have panicked like Oilers? Oh yeah, I would have panicked given that, because right, does PD want to stay? I'd panic given all the changes that they made. Oh, I'd be panicking for sure. Hey Shane, yeah, I mentioned that earlier, that JT Miller's comments that it wasn't the best game. He said it wasn't a Picasso for sure. We have people coming from England, so we have our family there to show them our wonderful team. I was in the photo and kind of shouted your name as you scooted by. Yes. So I remember that. I heard, hey, Clay, and then there were like BC, correct me if I'm wrong, there were, I think 4 of you in the picture and another guy with glasses taking the picture. Does that sound right? Is my memory that good? But I do remember saying, no, stop me next time. I'd love to meet you. Talking as a team, working on things to get better, and Bluger will be playing. Yes. Thank you, BC. My memory's okay. Chris says, let's get the likes up. Yeah, we're at 57. That's pretty good. Referee versus linesman game. I think that'll be fun for about 10 seconds handles. Oilers need torts. Oilers After Dark, they had 1.4 viewers and some. Wow. That good for them. Game Over Vancouver up until tonight had been the best performing show of the 7, which is awesome. So obviously numbers spike. Like we were getting bigger numbers than Toronto, Montreal. Not that it's a competition, but your numbers are going to spike either if you're really, really good or really, really bad. I would let PD go if it meant we win one this year. What else would matter to us fans? I don't care if we suck San Jose style for 10 years. Yeah, I know, Justin. It's we don't know what it's like to own a cup. If we do make the playoffs, where are the outside TVs usually placed for the fans to watch? Well, it hasn't been a while, but it was usually downtown, or just go to like Boston Pizza or a pub or something. This is what Benning envisioned. If your future self came to you and told you how the Canucks ended the season, would you believe that? I'm not sure what you're asking, Fangirl, because the Canucks haven't ended the season yet. If your future self came to you and told you how the Canucks ended the season, would I believe whatever my future self said? Yeah, because I don't lie. Of course, I'd believe me. I believe myself. The Canucks will resign him even if we win the Cup, says Shannon. Global Series in 1.5 weeks. Hughes had 1 point. That's fine. 1 point is still a point a game. Oh, James, great question. All-time Canucks. All-time Canucks. I'm going Henrik, Daniel. Oh, man. For what they mean to the team, Linden and one of Bure or Luongo. Yeah. And I think PD and Hughes are going to be on there pretty quick. Great question. Hey, Daniel. Travis Green for the Oilers. No, I don't think that wildcard teams always beat the first place teams. I think that's why it's called an upset. I don't think it happens a lot. Tyler thinks PD loves it here. I hope so. Oilers after dark. Oh, I'm sure he meant game over Edmonton, which is fine. It's fine. Linden is a Nucks legend. If this management group wanted Linden to come back to work, do you think he would? Nope. I think he's done, Jay. I think he's had his time. I think Vegas getting cocky, trying to run it back. Well, okay, this one, Lucas, I will disagree with, because what do you expect them to do? They're just like we want the Canucks to win every game. Vegas wants to win every game. So I haven't heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't heard like any interviews or of players or coaches saying that they expect to win the division again or da-da-da. But they're a good team. They have right to be confident for sure. I would still take Vegas in the best of 7 because of playoff pedigree. I feel bad for Leon and McDavid wasting another year. Interesting. I'm so sad about Edmonton not, says Adam. Okay, I better get back to questions so I can wrap up in the next few minutes. This is the best start to Canucks in Canucks history. That is true. Yeah, guys, I am going to go with questions. Sorry, just because I... Take care, Hockey Edits. 4-2. Future, it's going to be 4-2 Vancouver. And I say that half serious, half facetiously. I say 4-2 until the Canucks actually win 4-2. But I'm saying 4-2 Canucks. This is nice. Your memory is phenomenal. Very impressive. I'll definitely stop to say hi next time. It was tough with your scooter and crutches, and the ushers were... Yeah, that's true. The ushers were rushing us out. So BC, I was right then. There was a group of 4 getting the picture taken. There's a guy in glasses taking a picture of you. So I guess I was right. That's pretty cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do have a good memory. It's not photographic. If it was, I would have passed my accounting exams. But no, I remember important things. I try and remember people's names, try and remember what people look like, and my interactions with them for sure. Haven't heard much about Rutherford. He's got to be beaming. Yes. And he basically said that he wanted Alvin to do all the talking. Lucas said, maybe no outdoor watch party. Good point. When you don't get a chance to watch the entire game, do you watch the entire game replay again? No, I don't, Sarah. Usually I watch the highlights, and then I find for me, it's more beneficial to watch the highlights, to listen to the media interviews. And then if I wanted to, I could go, read Canucks Army. I could go read Pass It to Bulis, Athletic, whatever it is. So I generally don't have the time to watch the entire game when I miss the games. And yeah, I do miss games sometimes, like tonight because of work or Wednesday nights because of church. But to be very honest with you, no, I usually don't watch the whole game back. Do you think the city of Vancouver will allow watch parties in the streets, or did they learn their lesson? Great point. I know Lucas just mentioned that he doesn't think the city would allow it. Maybe they do it in a different way, or maybe they just do it all inside of Rogers Arena for the away games. If your future self told you the year the Canucks would win the cup, would you spoil it and tell your viewers, or keep the secret forever? This is a great question. Okay, this can sound morbid. If I knew I was going to die, like for whatever reason, not obviously by fluke accident, but say I was passing away from something or disease. No. I was going to say then I would, because then I wouldn't have to wear ramifications. That's not right. Like I would spoil it. Oh man, that's so tough. But then I could see my channel blow up, because then I would just be the guy who predicted the Canucks win in 2060, and then people would have to wait around for 37 years to see if I was right. What a great question. I love that question. I don't know who the next Oilers coach or GM is. That's interesting. I'll have to think about that, Jason. They're getting memed to death. I think Pettersson's number is going to be 12.5 times 8. I think he's a $100 million player. because I know guys often talk about not just the AAV, but the actual total value. 100 million sounds pretty, well, it sounds like a lot because it is a lot. Legendary Lucas Gates with another donation. Thank you, Lucas. I don't think they'll have an outdoor watch party again. 2011 ruined that. I could see Rogers Arena opening up for the watch. Yes, exactly. Obviously on the away games. I think that is a much smarter move. And thank you, Lucas, for the donation and support, as always. What would happen if Vancouver was the only Canadian team to make the playoffs? Would Canada embrace Vancouver? Or is it us against the world again like 2011? I think this team was more likable. I think people like Hughes. They like Petey. They like Demko. They like Kuzmenko. They like Besser. I think no one hates JT Miller. Whereas back then, a lot of people didn't like Kessler, didn't like Burrows, didn't like Luongo, even didn't respect the Sedins. Yeah, I think there'd be a bit more love for the Canucks for sure. What do you expect for the game in Toronto? 4-2 Vancouver, and I will start PD in my fantasy league. DeSmith is not as controlled as Demko. He's not as big as Demko. He just doesn't look, his rebound control is not as good as Demko's, but he has the same fighting spirit. So I think he's great. Good question. I do think we win 4-2. It would mess up the timeline. Do you think we can continue the winning streak in first in our division? I'm not going to sit here and predict that we're going to finish ahead of Vegas. I think both teams are going to ultimately hit some sort of road bump, but I think they can finish top 3. I think it's going to be Vegas, us, and LA battling all year. If you tell your past self on something that'll happen, it'll never happen. Very philosophical. Hey, Kaya, who will be fired first for the Oilers? Oh, you mean Holland or Woodcroft? I think it'll be Woodcroft. If we sign Petey, will there be enough to sign Hronek? Yeah, because there's other money that comes off the books. So next year, money that comes off the books, technically, and remember the salary cap is going up, although so is OEL's penalty. Off the books next year, Beauvillier, 4.1, Bluger, 2 million, Sam Lafferty, $1 million. Then who else? Tyler Myers, big one, 6 million. And then Cole and Friedman. Cole is another 3 million. DeSmith 1.8 if you don't sign all these guys. So you still have room to sign Hronek because he's amazing. He's what we've been searching for. He's a bona fide number 1 right shot defenseman. Lapierre, great point, Eric. Great point. No problem, Harry. Glad you're here. If you spoil the secret, Clay, if you knew the team won the cup, you create some sort of time paradox. Man, oh man. Will I be going to the November 18th game against the Kraken? Not sure yet. We've sold all of our tickets, so I don't think I'm going to that one. Oh no, I think I might be going in my seats with Mike. Harry, I have to get back to you. I'm not sure if PD's getting 14 million, but I think he could get 11 or 12 easy. And last question, if we continue on this winning path, who would you like to see us sign at the deadline to seal the deal? Ooh. If they're going to be buyers somehow, which I'm not convinced they will be, if they're going to be buyers, I don't know. Patrick King kind of intrigues me, but I don't think he'd come here. Jonathan Taves, I don't think he'd be ready to play. Yeah, I have to think about that, who the pending UFAs are around the league. I think I get one more depth defenseman and I get a right shot defenseman and I get another depth third or fourth liner for sure. As I wind up, and I'll do this for 3 minutes. I'll highlight all of your submissions, good or bad. If there was a stat named after me, tell me what the stat would be called and tell me what it would measure. So someone earlier said window entries per 60. I was thinking of Pepsi's per 60 or PDO or the GLCPC PDO. How good looking are you out of 100? So let me know if there is a stat. This is so self-serving, but who cares? When has it stopped me before? To wind up the stream, tell me if there is a stat named after me. What's the name of the stat? And what would it measure? I will highlight I'll highlight it for the next 2 minutes. Love it. Love it. Sushi eaten per 60. Love it, fangirl. I would crush that, especially with salmon. Dad jokes per 60. I like that. I would like that. Major for drinking Pepsi on the bench. So his is, yeah, I could see that happening too. The emo stat equals saying okay to transition using the word okay per infinity. I know, Taylor, and I'm not offended that you say that. I'm trying to work on it so much, but I am going to work on that. Great point. Saying okay to see, yeah, Taylor, it's rubbing off on you. I say okay all the time. Dang it. Thank you, Taylor. That was good, actually. Number of times you meet your future self per 60. I don't know if I could handle meeting my future self more than once. These are awesome. The sushimo. Sushi per 60, because like your shirt, that is how I roll. Exactly, Justin. Love it. Great callback. Oh, man. ADPH, the Achilles destroyed per home run. We may have a winner. Like everyone's been good, but I love this one. ADPH, Achilles destroyed per home run. Love it. Love it. Love it. Falling out of the window in the room. I've watched that many times. Could stop that. Yeah, I actually showed it on my last stream, Harry. And yes, I've always drank Pepsi and Coke since I was little. Yeah, it's a bad habit. Pepsi and banana ratio. That didn't sound good. Injuries against average. Yeah, this is actually my most serious injury. I've never broken a bone. I've had stitches in my eyelid. I've had I've choked on steak before. That was crazy. But I've never broken a bone, believe it or not. But this has been my worst for sure. Oh no, there we go. For sure. I just said it. For sure is per minute. So do I say that as well a lot? Oh man, I know I have a lot of word whiskers, especially I do a lot of public speaking, as you guys know, especially in churches. And I'm always trying to get better, trying to stop with the ums and the rights and the likes, of course. But I guess I say okay and for sure. You know, one word that Parker, check this out. Next time, it's kind of bad. No, I better not. I was going to say there's one word that Parker and I say a lot. Parker even more than me. And I'm not making fun of him. I'm not dragging him. It's just, I bug him all the time. It's one word that him and I say a lot, especially when we're together on Canucks After Dark. But I'm not going to say it here because if I say it here, then you guys will tell him I said it and you guys will be watching for it. So you guys almost caught me. Pepsi versus veggies, the PVV. I love it. I love it, Jay. Clay getting a penalty trying to feed the goalies and refs Pepsi. Yeah, no, I wouldn't, Chris, because I wouldn't want to share it. Yeah, I know. I say it a lot. What team do you think will end the Canucks winning streak? Gosh, I hope it's not the Islanders on Wednesday. Yeah, I like ADPH too. Achilles destroyed per home run. You know who else was on a roll? Me when I had my scooter, but I'm walking now, which is good. Was the steak I choked on medium rare, well done. It was not chewed and digested, that's for sure. But I'll save that story for maybe next week. Choke on steak. You're so lucky not breaking a bone. I haven't had an ACL yet, but I know, oh, that would be brutal. Oh, never take you for granted per 60. That's true. You could just, all my things, always appreciate you, never take you for granted. If you're new, here's what you should do. Yeah, those are good. You can always take any of my catchphrases too. Maybe that's what another time I'll do is these catchphrases. By the way, I know some people left, but I feel this is a fun way to end off the streams. Is just kind of get some more viewer participation. No, I'm not saying the word. Justin's feeding my ego, but I love it. The Tigrag. I like it. You can actually say it. The Tigrag. Times I get recognized at games. The Tigrag. Love it, Justin. Love it. Friends, that seems like a really good place to end. Thank you. What a great stream tonight because of you, not because of me. What a great victory. The Canucks 10-2-1. Amazing stuff. 21 points in 13 games. Next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs on Saturday. So I will not be doing my own show on Saturday, but we have Game Over on Saturday. And let me check. Just before I go, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say who it is. If it's public already, I'm going to tell you who it is. Actually, it's technically Game Over Toronto because I'll be joining their show because it's a crossover. So I'm going to look right now. If they've announced who our guest is going to be, I'm going to tell you right now. But if they haven't, I can't say anything. Now, what day is it going to be on Saturday? The 11th, right? No, it's not. It's not scheduled yet. So I'll say this. If you want to come to Game Over Toronto after the Toronto Maple Leafs versus Vancouver Canucks on Saturday, I'll be co-hosting with one of the Toronto crew, and we're going to have a former Canucks player on with us. A former Canucks player. And my hint to you is Heritage Classic. So before I go, I'll give you 30 seconds to type in your guess. A former Canucks player, and the hint to you is Heritage Classic. So James says, and I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong. James says Kirk. Edmund says Gary Volk. Harry says Chris Tanev. Coach Rob says Matt Sundin. Shane says Kirk. Subscribe says Luongo. Fangirl says Eddie Lack. Eric says Yannick Hansen. Edmund says Cliff Ronning. Jason says please be Lyndon to Trash Benning. BC says Lack. Tyler says Lack. Harry says Zach. That's not whack. Shane says Kirk. Pat says Corey Schneider. Chris says maybe a fun Eddie Lack. And Adam says Cassian. Well, all you got to do is wait 2 more days to find out. Make sure that's my next stream because I don't stream on this channel Friday night, Saturday night. So I hope to see you Saturday after Game Over Toronto, after the game for Game Over Toronto, which I'll be a guest, and we'll have a really, really awesome guest with us. I'll be a co-host and we'll have a really awesome guest. Friends, we are done. Oh, and James, you said, please don't be Kirk. He's such an egotistical loser. Canucks staff said this last year at Abbey Arena when they were doing the meetup. I did not know that. I'm not sure, James, if you're ever here for the start, but he's in my intro, and he was really good to do the intro. But thanks for that, sharing that. And Sarah, can you tell us if one of the names is correct? No. And BCPC Game Over Toronto YouTube channel. It's actually the SDPN channel. Just type in SDPN Sports. That's where all the game overs are hosted. So type in SDPN and you'll find it there. Okay, friends, on your way out. No, before that, moderators, thank you for doing what you need to do. Members, that's a legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Andrew Chang. Thank you for your support. Hall of Fame and franchise members, thanks to all of you as well. And to everyone for watching, for liking, for subscribing. Thank you. Always appreciate you. Never take you for granted. Carol, gifts memberships tonight, 2 of them. Thank you. We have Lucas with a couple donations. Thank you. We have Justin with a donation, and we also had Andrew Chang gifting membership as well. So generous, all of you. Always, always, always. Finally, thank you again to my sponsors, Advanced City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss. Don't forget, if you want to go on this trip, to contact Neil Chark at uniglobecarefree.ca. That's Neil Chark at Uniglobe. So Neil C at uniglobecarefree.ca. He's going to close it off over the weekend. So if you're interested, make sure you contact him. And finally, if you're looking for Canucks tickets, send me an email, canuckclay@gmail.com. Now I'm going to go. So on your way out, subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, gift a membership. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys have a really good night, a great weekend, and I'll see you next on SDPN's channel, Game Over Toronto, after the Canucks hopefully beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And it was weird. Earlier today, someone called my cell phone. They called my phone, they sneezed, and then they just hung up. I'm sick and tired of getting these cold calls. God bless. And go Canucks go. Booyah!